I'm already sitting here talking to myself, to the people that can listen in on devices. So I figured mine's a push record because some of these areas where your mind goes, you want to capture it as it's happening, because it's something that can make sense and you can apply it to your life, and then you can see for yourself how it works. But it's all about your mind and your other side that's inside, in your spirit, the two different sources. I think the problem that I've had with myself is I don't really take that too serious as to how literal it is that enemy inside of you is always omnipresent with you every second of the day. No matter what you do, no matter where you're at in your day, in your life, even if you don't have a worry in the world because you have been born into families that are just very wealthy, and you just get to do what you want to do in life, and you've done it all, but you never had the truth. You just never had the truth inside of your heart, so there was always something missing. No matter where you're at, you're going to have this enemy with you, speaking with you all day long, every day, every minute, every hour, every second. Your enemy is omnipresent with you. So you can pretend that he's not, and you can be like, nah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Right. The enemy, even when you say words, is whispering to you how stupid you sound saying what you just said. It's an always forever existence that if people can really grasp this and get it through their head, that it's just I've always tried to pinpoint what is it that makes, why do I get like, well, that's because you're just listening to your negative side. It's only the exact opposite of your positive side. There is no name to it. It's just an existence of what it is. It's energy from within inside of your spirit that you generate, and you tend to blame it on other people and tend to think that God needs to do something about it, when God's the one relying on everybody to do something about it themselves, because God can't do things by himself, and it's free will. So this enemy inside of us speaks, and some people have the ability to act on the negative side like that, and then go back to the positive side like that. Some of those people would tend to have more time spending with just outright going with your first initial injected thought, which is the flesh, and do it. And do it. Whatever it is, do it. Because that's your negative energy, half of your side of your twin system in you. You can't get mad at it. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't get mad at the spirit that's doing it. That's what the spirit is. It's just you either choose to be on the positive side or the negative side in your mind, day in and day out, moment to moment. You can go 10 seconds into feeling good about something, and your negative energy will remind you of something that can stress you out. And then it'll give you like a jolt of anxiety, like right underneath your chest area, in between your stomach and your chest. And it gives you like this feeling inside that you wish wasn't there. Then what you do is you think like, wait a minute, what the hell, where did that come from? And then you remember what you thought. And then understand who's thinking for you. Yourself in the good side or yourself in the negative side. Because either way, it's you. is what I'm trying to make clear to people. It's just you. You're blaming on somebody else. You're blaming on Satan. It's you. You have both in you. You have the Satan and Jesus inside of your spirit. And it's so realistic and clear. So clear when you can finally do examples as to how to test it. Like, all right, you don't believe me? Fine, well then, look, if nobody believes that it's possible to get rid of this negative side of you in an instant, then do a fast for 3 days. Just try it. That dude is in a hurry. That's the Harry demon. Harry has a grip on that guy. He is hurrying his way up. But these exercises are there to do. That way you can grasp it. Because what's your first thought? It's your flesh. If you can't remember anything else I ever say, then just remember this. Your first thought is your flesh thought. Your second thought is your spiritual thought. It's the second opinion. It's the second witness. Don't just go by what you're initially thinking until you learn how to master your first thought, because you realize, that's just my negative 50% half angry, irritated self that's always omnipresent with me, always ready to snap in a moment's drop of a dime. And then you got to work on your anger with that and put him in check. You're just constantly trying to put yourself in check. What do you think a chessboard is? It's you. All those chess pieces, it's you. On each side, you're thinking ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of yourself. You're trying to attack your other side. There's the light side, the dark side. Obviously, your light side needs to checkmate your dark side on the chessboard inside of your spirit as you war with yourself. I love being able to grab this thing that's in your mind and spirit and strangle it and then show it to you. And then say, look, here's the enemy. This is the enemy. And you'll look, and then it'll be a mirror. And then the mirror you're seeing your reflection, because it's you blaming it on somebody else. Everybody's anger, it's just because you can't control yourself. Dummy, it's just you. I've been a dummy for a long, long time. Just a dummy to my own thoughts. See, I hear you, man. See, some people were in such a hurry, they got to get by. Maybe he needed to get in the picture. Maybe he just wanted to be that guy that got his car in the video when he clicks on my the link later on when it uploads. Same thing with the speed demon. Or it's just people that have that spirit. So either way I look at it, to that realm, that way I don't get irritated and I'm not judging. It's like, it could be, just to get in the video to YouTube because it's the surveillance group. They do that. It's funny. I understand. I'd probably do, if I had the power to act, I'd probably do the same thing. Just, you're not hurting anybody, but it's fun. But there's certain spirits that they just take over, and it's always of the negative side of the family. They just have different categories, because one of them is the fear, And then it's just a fear of just whatever, anything different, any changes. Something might happen. How's this going to go? Where's this going to happen at? Am I going to pay my bills this month? Or thank God I can at least pay my bills this month. But there's always something that wants to hop into your vessel and take control of it. There's people that have a host body, and that first initial thought of the flesh is what led you to do that, because you didn't even think twice. And then there's people that have the host body, and they've already thought twice. So then now they realize that this is the captivity for them, because it came to this planet to do that thing without thinking twice. When you start thinking twice, well, you have a tendency of beating yourself up, hating your decisions in life. But then you get to the understanding, when you balance yourself out with your good side, because it's very necessary, the battery, the positive and negative, that your engine won't run without both of it. So stop blaming the negative when you're in a positive mood, and stop blaming the positive when you're always negative Nancy. It's you put the blame on yourself, but you also learn to stop blaming yourself. So it's a fine line, obviously, between yourself. When do you beat yourself up? When do you hold yourself accountable towards beating yourself up? Here's the key to that understanding. The difference is time. When you hold yourself accountable, you'll do it, you'll move on immediately, and that's it. And you understand what you did and what not to do anymore. You feel bad, you don't want to do it again. Opposed to constantly feeling that exact same way I just explained for the first 10 seconds before you move on, and it becomes a repetitive thought. Music has a tendency to get you to think repetitively. Some songs are they repeat themselves so much that if you don't catch yourself, it'll kind of like drive your brain insane. There's times where I'll just turn the song down towards the end, because I know it's going to repeat itself at least 3 to 6 times. I guess I just like hearing things for the first time, once and for all, and move on from that. Yeah, I repeat myself. I talk a lot, but I'm trying to grab this thing, this negative type of spirit that runs every human being. We're no different. We're all created where we have this ability to think for ourselves and either hold ourselves accountable or blame somebody else. Every human being on the planet has this ability. So the idea is to get to those that at least have say in what happens in this planet, or knows people that know that run the planet, that can influence them. The goal is to get to them, to get them to think, to listen to the message, and then have them apply it to themselves, and just think twice about things. Who told you can't eat for 3 days, or drink water for 3 days, and then you're gonna die? What is it that, I don't know if it's the people with the host body or just the inside, that there's something over you, a hex or something. I don't know exactly what it is, what they told you, but it's if you don't do something for 3 days, I think you might die. I think they might have told you something along the lines that makes you feel like you're going to die if you don't do a certain thing for 3 days. fast from whatever it is that you were told would kill you for 3 days. If you're not afraid of death, which is the death enemy. Well, guess what? That's you. That's also you. The one that fears what people are going to do to you or what's going to happen to you if you either say something or don't do a certain thing. And all of this comes to an end because everybody recognizes that thing. And again, I don't know what it is, or if I did, I would actually say it. I'm not trying to speak in a tongue interpretation. I really don't know what it is, but I just feel like there's something that we were all told by Satan, that energy that runs this planet, that is coming to its end because the people that had that entity inside of them, they realized the same thing that I realized with myself, is that, wait a minute, there's a good me inside of this vessel. Like, who are you? And because this good you was now introduced to you that you didn't know before. The good you is when you have a spiritual tap in to the Father, Creator, Source, Dad type of spirit that loves you and teaches you and helps you, and it works. And then you become so grateful because of like just how you think and how you feel. It's different now because I've always been looking for that feeling too. Like in my dreams, I'm always in like park settings, and the people are, I don't feel an ounce of negative energy. So whatever that is, wherever it is, it's heaven in my spirit when I'm dreaming. And I never really was very social with people. I couldn't imagine myself being around a whole lot of people like that either. But in the dream, it felt like that's exactly what heaven was. And I thoroughly appreciated every second that I wanted to go back to sleep. Now, being alive, I get to experience that, but that's only because of the way that I've communicated with people. That was something that was just formed out of the thin air. And my enemy is the one that just whispered, yeah, for delusional clown. That's the there you go. That's the spirit energy that's inside of you that will say that immediately. And then it's up to you to either listen to it, like, yeah, you're right, or you know it's true because you don't even believe it anymore. You don't need faith. Faith is something that you have something that's unseen. When you have faith in something, it just means it didn't happen yet. You haven't experienced it. But when you know something's true, it's already true. Just go with it. It's already true. Just keep going with it. The problem with the spirit that runs behind social media, the ones that were hired to do certain things, is that energy consumes you. And it's your first thought as well. You're just going with basically one. You remember the Atari control stick, and it had one control stick and one button. That's it. That's what you are. You're an Atari character being controlled and played by the ones that have many controls and many other buttons. They just gave you one button, one joystick, and they're like, here. And then you're like those little nuggets that Pac-Man eats up. So if you don't start thinking twice, get a second opinion, go see another doctor. Don't go see a rapper. Go see a doctor. And get another positive energy thought to hop on that train along with your... You're already good at riding the wave of negativity, right? You guys are great surfers, but you ride the wrong wave. You're going backwards. But that's only because you're forward. You didn't meet your forward side of you yet. You only know the backward side. You don't have to hate the backward side when you finally get to meet the forward side, the good side, and the good side takes over. You don't judge your negative side. Just understand that's what it is. That's what we are. We're humans made like that. You just got to balance it out. You use it when you need it. And sometimes some people need it more in order to balance the good out. But when you finally balance it out, you can stay in your moment. No matter what's happening in life, just understand, have the faith that it will get better. And then when you know it's better, you're no longer going to need that faith because you're experiencing it. You're experiencing what you had faith in, and it happened. That is the feeling that comes along with the Father and the communication that reciprocates back and forth to the spirits that are in charge of what happens as we walk this planet Earth down here under their control. That's the entire thing that changed. And who knows it? And what makes me think that I know that that happened? Because I've had my faith and I've experienced it and I'm living it. So it's happening. It's now, it's real, and it's happening. And the result comes from time fulfilling itself. I'm just waiting to walk into the moment of what I've already experienced, good and bad, in my head throughout this entire the whole YouTube career. I've experienced the war juxtapositions inside of my head with me and my enemy, because you can tell when my enemy's talking. You can even tell when that little prideful enemy hops on, and I feel like slapping myself too when I rewatch some of the videos, because I'm not trying to be that way, but sometimes your enemy tries to be too cute. Sometimes you try to be too cute, but when you see yourself being that way, you want to slap yourself. And that's how I understand when I'm uploading videos, recording it, there's different personalities that I'm talking to. How do you perceive me, my enemies, complete, the double Debbie Downers? Well, I'm always ready to hear from you, because I've already heard from your leader, which is already in my mind, where me and Satan, we know each other very well for years upon years upon years. I've always listened to him first and did what he said. And then I realized, no, wait a minute. I don't feel like doing what you're telling me to do. No. And then when I say no, it's like, you get some guy named Dave, a big Goliath, and he'll poke holes in your pipes and try to sabotage your work because you told him no. It's a bully. Are you tired of being bullied? Well, then stick up for yourself. You're walking around. I remember a Jim Carrey movie. I don't remember what one it was, but he had different personalities. He was walking around, beating himself up. That's a pretty funny movie, because that's truly what's happening inside of your spirit. And there's people that care for you, and they can see you going through that. They know that you're only fighting yourself, but you swear, man, it's that other person over there. Nope, it's you. Everybody on the planet, when you apply this to your own self and realize that it is just you, no matter what's happening, where you're at, what's going on, you don't have to be imprisoned, enslaved to yourself. While you're walking around day in and day out, either passing the time, killing the time, or enjoying your time. When you enjoy your time, you're no longer trying to kill it. When you're not killing your time, you don't want it to pass by. When time is in the moment now, you want it to last, and you just don't want it to end. So that's why when they live up there, there's no darkness up there, is there? It's only down here in this pit. But up there, it's eternal. It's time forever. It's never ending. There is no time limit. We have time limits here. Everything's in a hurry. We got red lights, green lights, yellow lights. Everything is such in a rush. And we've been enslaved our entire lives. Because the ones that run the planet have been enslaved themselves. To themselves. And they make the decision. So who are you afraid of to be yourself when you run the planet with your own decisions? You're just now experiencing what I've experienced when I first hopped on YouTube. Trust me, it ain't nothing. I mean, in the end, it's nothing. It's good for you. You're not going to die. You're not even going to get touched. You're not going to get injured whatsoever. It's a mental prison camp. Mentally in prison yourself. They do it. The barbed wire fence. The pet goat 2 popping out of the hole. The barbed wire fence. The crown of thorns putting you in prison around your own head. You doing it to yourself. I can't stress it enough how important it is to realize it's just you. You're going to walk around for the rest of the day, and you're going to hear your good side, and you're going to hear your angry side. But you're only going to hear your good side after you become angry, because your good side has to put the anger in check and remind it, wait a minute, stop, stupid, stop. Just stop being angry. You get over it, loser. When you start to chastise yourself, you can be harsh at times, but there's a fine line between discipline yourself and beating yourself up. When you discipline yourself, it's only going to be for a short time span. You're going to say it, you're going to mean it, you're going to do it, and then you're going to move on. That's it. And then be yourself. Don't let your enemy spiritually come out of your forehead, turn around, stare you in the face, and start pointing daggers at your face, telling you everything the exact opposite of what you want to feel and be in your life. Don't let him do it, because that's all it is. He's in front of your face constantly. Do you not feel judged all the time? Do you not feel like you're being watched, surveilled? Well, because you are. Do you feel like you have privacy? Well, you don't. Do you want to believe it? Go ahead. Whatever makes you feel uncomfortable. Just know that be yourself no matter what, no matter who's watching, no matter where, because you're being watched and listened to anyway. So why feel uncomfortable? When you run the planet and you have say and you know people that do, all you got to do is give them some information, a little bit of spiritual understanding of how to control yourself, and then a few signs and miracles and wonders with a couple things over here and a dead sheep there and a snake over there, and just use it and apply it to the person that you are close to, and then they'll branch off into their corporation where they're at, and then the next person will branch off into their corporation, and then the people under them will start to think like them, and then it's a flood that has just basically taken over the whole planet. This is what it means when Christ is returning. Yes, the message comes out. There's people that adhere to the message. They're the first ones. And then they experience what the message is. It's truth. It happened. It came out of nowhere. And it existed from forever. And it always will be. It's just we've ignored it. It's the second thought. It's your second opinion. It's the Word of God. It's the Holy Spirit that is the gift if you can hear and if you can see. And if you can't, it's not that it's like, oh, you can't hear or see, you're stupid. No, that would be yourself telling you that. Or that would be my enemy telling me to myself to be impatient and go around this bus. Don't let this bus get in front of you. Oh my God, I hate buses. I'm so sick of these buses. And then you can be in a hurry, but hey, look, at least you got in front of that bus. And that can control you like that. And you can stop it like that. It's 5-second exercises that can help you. You want to get angry at this guy because he's not going fast enough? Well, then slow down. Slow down normally. Instead of what you would normally do, which is get angry and speed up more, then you just slow down yourself. And listen to that. Listen to how Satan will just pass you by. Just like when you're going to get something to eat. Just for one time in your life, go to the refrigerator, get ready to get something, and then remind yourself when you open the door, you know what? Let me wait 5 minutes. It's just 5 minutes. And then that's just an exercise of how to deny your first thought. And the funny thing is, you're going to, if you pay attention, you'll hear the little pansy ass, the little crybaby brat inside of you. You'll hear it complaining, like, no, get it now. I want it now. And then you're like, no, man, just wait 5 minutes. And you'll see how you can literally war with yourself. You got to get it under control. Get it under control. If you can stop warring with yourself, you can actually breathe. It's about breathing. For me, it's about breathing. Part of my breathing problem might be that there's a war going on inside of my spirit, because Satan is always omnipresent with me, just like God, the Spirit. Both of them opposite, negative, positive. You can't have one without the other, so stop warring with each other.